ago, and I just realized that Emily just asked me if I wanted her to record, and I said yes, and then I realized that my bullet points are actually on my phone. But, so you'll have to take what you can get, take what I can get. But you know, I traveled thousands of miles away to pick up this little 4-year-old girl from Jiangdai, China. I'm sorry, from Datong, China. I know that was you, Emily. And she was just the most precious thing one of the most precious things I had ever seen. And to think that this young baby girl who came over here, I can't imagine how terrifying that must have been. But came over and was resilient and, you know, just kind of got right into the swing of things, learned English relatively fast. In doing so, loved to criticize correct Emily's English, which was really hilarious because clearly Mady was almost 100% wrong. But to think that of how strong someone has to be and how precious someone has to be able to deal with those adversities and other adversities that she's had to deal with in her life, to then become who the woman who she is, graduate from PA school, and her friends are here and they know how hard that is. Oh my goodness, Ethan, I don't think she could have done it without you there for her. Ethan was, he cooked, he took care of things, he kept her, I joke about Ethan being Maddie's Chuck to me. Kept her on track, kept her focused, got her going, and that's the kind of amazing human being that Ethan is, and we are so excited to welcome you to the family. You know, one small story about Mady. I was trying to think of a story to tell, but then I'm like, I don't want it to be embarrassing to her. So like, because I have some really funny, I have some hilarious Mady stories. But one of the stories that I think was one of the most heartwarming is when she was in high school. She went to the Heartland camp in Missouri, and she volunteered for a week-long camp for adults with disabilities, and this was a high school age girl, and Chuck and I went to pick her up from camp that year, and a lot of the adults were very much elderly. 50s, 60s, 70s, very elderly. And Mady was telling us stories about being at camp, and she said, "Oh yeah, I was studying with this guy, and we were doing this craft project, and he had the little card with all the holes in it and the shoestring, and he was going in to get the shoestring, to try to do the card, and she said he'd start way out here, and then he'd slowly go and he'd miss, and he'd slowly go and he'd miss, and she said, and Mom, I will tell you, we did not make dinner that night." But that is the patience that I know you're not a little girl, that is the patience that this little girl has, and I am so blessed to call you my daughter. And Ethan, wow, how amazing is your family. We are just so thankful and blessed to have your family, and know that I'm so lucky because, you have, my Mady has an amazing mother and father-in-law, and sister-in-law, sisters-in-law, brother-in-law, and I'm so thankful for that. And again, thank you for this evening, and thank you all for coming to celebrate with us. So, toast to Mady and Ethan. Cheers. Cheers.
Oh yeah, let's get that in there.